Alright guys, welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. And what's that old saying? Practice makes perfect. Yeah, that's right. You practice enough, you might actually get it right once in a while. So with that being said, what do you say we sit down and have some lunch? And today's lunch is going to be Mexican rice and gravel rocks. I got your attention now? Well, let's sit down and do this, and I'll explain to you what gravel rocks are. Alright guys, so today what we're doing is we're cooking gravel rocks and rice. And this right here is a bag of gravel rocks. What it is, it's some 80-20 lean hamburger meat, and you break it all down and you mix in some breadcrumbs, and then you fry it up real good, and then you blot all the grease off with paper towels, and you put it in your dehydrator. One more thing, don't season the meat when you're dehydrating it. And the reason for the breadcrumbs is, it's my understanding, if you just do the hamburger meat, it dries up literally like gravel rocks. And if you put the proper ratio of breadcrumbs in there, it kind of sponges back out and it's more like real meat. So what we're going to do is we're going to rehydrate that. This is a Nor side. This is the Mexican rice Nor side. And this is a pre-Biden price on this. I bought these. This is part of my hurricane stash. These used to be $1 a bag for a 2-serving bag, which is just right for me and my wife. And this is half of a bag because I'm feeding myself today. But I was in the dollar store yesterday, had to get some cat food, and they had plenty of it in there, folks. Don't panic. These Nor sides are now $1.65, so they've almost doubled in price. Thank you very much, Joe Biden, and fuck you for every motherfucker that voted for him, you dumb son of a bitches. Is this really what you wanted? Fucking $5 a gallon gas and fucking paying almost $2 for something that's barely worth a fucking dollar? Dumbasses. I'm not even going to get into it, but I think a lot of people have stepdad syndrome when it comes to Trump and the MAGA movement. And that's enough of that. Let's make some lunch. And so today we'll be cooking with my Serbian Army mess kit. Why are we using this today? Because I haven't used it in a long time. That's why. Also, my K-Bar sport fork. Forget what it's made out of, like it's a polycarbonate synthetic plastic kind of thing, but it's got your little spork and it's got a knife. So, pretty nice little handy tool. I will say this though, it's kind of hard to clean sometimes, but because when you open this up, of course, that's hollow in there. There is a drain hole, but still, if you're not careful, it can get a little icky in there. So if you get one of these, keep that in mind. Serbian Army mess kit, or East Bloc mess kit. Comes with this fancy Dan serving bowl, this other little cup, and a canteen. So when you're going through the chow line, I guess you put your hot food in here and you put your cold food in there, or however that works. I don't know what kind of food those guys eat. And then you got your little cup here, and you got a canteen. So it works out pretty good for hiking. So what we're going to do here is we're going to speed things up. I am going to dump this in here. And I'm going to dump this in here. This is just like any other dehydrated type of food. You got to rehydrate it. And if you want to save a little gas, pre-soak this stuff. Right? And I need about a cup and a quarter or so to make the stuff, but because I'm rehydrating it, might need a little more. So our 1 cup line is right there. All right, we'll start out with 8 ounces of water. and we'll just let that sit for about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes tops, depending on how distracted I get. And of course, we'll be cooking on the old green meanie today. And when you cook this stuff up, you know, it's really simple. You put in, if you're making the whole bag, it's like 1 3/4 cup of water, and then optional butter or oil. And because it's Mexican rice, we cannot cook this properly without some Texas Pete. So it's already been soaking about a minute. Excuse me. What do you say? I grab me a drink of water, and I will show you the chicken condo. Phase 1 of the chicken condo is now done. Our birds are now actually in the condo enjoying life, and I'll show you that in just 1 minute. And if you can't stand the thought of looking at my chicken condo, simply be a dick and scroll forward. I won't take it personal. I'm trying to show you guys how to be a prepper in sort of a homesteader in a suburban type area without being a paranoid prick. So, you know, occasionally I might just do some gardening. I'm getting ready to show you some gardening tips. Chickens in the backyard gives you eggs, gives you meat, gives you feathers if you want to tie flies and whatnot. And you can always trade the eggs or trade the chickens for something that you might need. So we'll just leave that at that. And if you're new to the channel, I must say this is the very best free thermos bottle I've ever found. I found this out in the ditch one day coming home, and I was like, I seen a silver canister in the ditch, and I was like, well, I don't think it's a pipe bomb. Let me go see what that is. And I guess it fell out of somebody's boat. It's got a couple dings and scratches on it, but I took it inside, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I know exactly what this is. So I cleaned it out, disinfected it, and personalized it with some stickers. And this thing, I couldn't tell you how many miles this has on it, but been to the Midwest a couple of times, and it goes out into the woods with me. If it's not sitting in direct sunlight, it will keep ice for like 2 days, which is nice. And on these super hot summer days like it is right now, I could put ice in here, do an overnight camp, which it ain't gonna happen. It's too hot. For the last month and a half, the heat indexes have been over 100, averaging between 103 and 109. So I'm barely doing work, let alone going out in the woods fishing and fooling around and playing and having fun. That's why I ain't been doing a whole lot. I don't mean to be a YouTube crybaby, but it's just too fucking hot out. And back to the practice, all right? Why are we doing a practice lunch here? Because if you do follow the channel, or if you're new to the channel, guess what? We're doing a road trip here very shortly. My to-do list before I can leave is almost done. It's taken me about 3 weeks longer, mostly because of the heat indexes, but I look at it like this. Anytime you're planning a road trip and you keep getting set back and set back and set back, it's because once you leave, it's going to be a very epic, and I mean epic, adventure. So where are we going? Well, I'm not telling you right now. It's classified. You'll know when we get there where I'm at, because I'll be telling you. We're going to be doing a completely different kind of road trip for me. Hope everybody enjoys it. I hope I enjoy it. So with that being said, let me go show you the chicken condo. This stuff here needs a few more minutes to soak, and let's go say hello to the chickens. Yeah, I gave them some watermelon yesterday. They love watermelon. Now, don't laugh at the pen. The pen right now is very temporary. I'm going to be building a very secure pen later on. But what I did was I stripped some pallets for the stakes. Excuse me. This front door here is part of a parrot cage that rusted out. So we got a door here that works pretty good for right now. And this here is some landscaping cloth that gives them some shade. That's a motorcycle tire right there for a dirt bath, and I tell you what, they just love that thing. And so they got a 22 foot by 4 foot run here. Some of them right here, they can't wait to go into the dirt bath, so they're taking one right here. And as you can see, these chickens are turning out to be real beautiful. What we got right there, those two black roosters are French copper Morans. That's an Americana. The black one in there that you may or may not be able to see is a French copper Moran hen. The ones that kind of look like Dominic chickens are chocolate cuckoo Orpingtons, and they be laying some chocolate-like eggs. That blue chicken is a blue French copper Moran. And then those chickens in there, they are the Americanas. They're going to be laying some turquoise-type eggs. And there's another one, and most of these are pretty dang friendly. So let me take a step back here. That door right there is very secure. As you can see, it's up on a rope and a pulley. The door probably weighs 25-30 pounds. I don't see a coyote or a fox or a possum opening that. These long window things, I still got to put storm flaps on them. I need to hang the door, and I was just a few feet short on the tin, so I recycled some old tin. I've recycled some old rain gutter. I will be putting rain barrels out here. Upcycled some tin for the door. And here's the other side, has the same setup here. It's got a long, it's like a almost 7 foot window, I believe. I'll be making some plywood storm flaps. That whiteboard up there is some upcycled signage. It's some 1/2 inch MDO, medium density overlay. It's like plywood, but plywood on steroids. Got another upcycled gutter back here, and I'll be putting a rain barrel on it too. The only thing I got left to do here is I gotta seal these up. For right now it's okay, but I don't want birds getting up in here, and I don't want them nesting on the shelf, so I will be taking more of this fencing type board and putting it up in there for a custom fit. Look at that. It's that time of year, these things are everywhere. But yeah, so this here, the 6 foot fencing was cheaper than a sheet of plywood. And of course now I got some 4x4 trimmed out on the edge. I still got to put some soffit up there, but all in all, I'd say the outside turned out pretty dang good. And like I said, don't laugh at this, it's going to be temporary. Well, what we're planning on doing is having like out there on the edge, it'll probably be 4 feet, and then as it comes back, we'll raise it up to like a 6 foot fence, probably up above the window here. Look at that, there's another one of those things. I'd like to be able to get into the pen if I have to, and my plan here, when we make it secure, is I'm going to be running 2x4s all the way down the bottom, and then 2x4 supports, and then of course a 2x4 running across. And then I've got wire like this. I won't be using this wire because it's too messed up, but I got a lot of 2x4 wire. My plan is to cut that stuff probably around 2 feet, and then I can bring it up about 8 inches, fold it at 90 degrees, and I can have it running out into the ground, and that way you won't be able to tunnel up under the fencing, right? So visualize like an L-shaped piece of 2x4 wire. Then I'm going to take all these old scooter tires that I have, and I got more of them on another part of the yard that's hidden. I'm going to fill them up with dirt and plant flowers, and that'll be on the outside. So between the 2x4 wire laying on the ground and then everything growing over the top of it, the tires and flowers and whatnot, it should look very nice from a distance. So, and it'll be predator proof from what I'm understanding. If I do that, it'll make it almost impossible for something to tunnel under unless they're very determined. And I don't think the average fox is going to dig 2 feet underneath a fence to get to a chicken. And if he does, that'll give me enough time to come out here and kill his fucking ass. Yeah. You see the sun hitting that one right there? He's got a little bit of red on his head, and he's got kind of a purplish shine to his black feathers. See the blue hitting that one? Pretty awesome, huh? All right, well, let's go inside. Say hi to the camera, Goldie. Aw, don't be camera shy. I guess she's chasing bugs. But yeah, that's another petting chicken right there. She'll sit in my hand and I rub her neck and head and she about goes to sleep right in my hand. Pretty cool. So as we walk into the coop, this is all temporary. I do plan on finishing this out in here with pallet wood. I just run out of patience. I got a temporary little roosting area there for my 3 little roosters that are going to be going into the stew pot. That's temporary right now. I've just got an extension cord run up here so I can run some lighting. That's a brooder lamp right there, and what I have in that is just a yellow bug light. And right here where this opening is, that's where I'm going to be building a really nice nesting box. There'll be room for at least 4 hens to lay eggs in there. They all should be nice and comfy. This is the door that goes into the actual coop, and I upcycled an old sign. I got my waterer hanging. I got it hanging from the ceiling up there. And then I think I'm going to lower these roosts just a little bit. I think they would be more happy because these roosts right now, they're probably about 38 inches off the ground. I think I might do the old school where you run a board at like 45 degrees and then run your roosts across there like that. Right, this is an old chicken feeder I've had for probably 30 years. Got a flap on there. You just go in there and you fill it up every couple of days. Everybody's happy. My little special needs chicken, she gets in there and slings the food everywhere because this is her feeding station because she's small. She's got a crossed beak, so she has trouble eating. And speaking of the devil, here she is now. Come here, Edna. Come here, you. Come here. All right, you guys. This here is my friend Edna. Edna Sissorbeak. Can you smile for the camera? She has a crossed beak. I believe I've spoke about this chicken before. She seems to be eating just fine. So she's just not growing because she just can't eat like the other ones. But she's got a personality like you would not believe. But look, girl, we're filming. I can play with you later, okay? Yeah, and like in here I got this wire hanging up. Eventually I'll have this all boarded up with pallet wood. Like I said, I ran out of patience. I need to go to a much higher elevation for a few days. This heat index has been just absolutely killing me. So the inside area, I guess I should tell you that, is it's like 8 feet and it's dang near 5 feet across. So they got an 8 by 5 total area here. And later on today I will be hanging that door. But yeah, chickens taking a dirt bath. Boy, they love that. Now eventually I will have dirt in there, a little bit of sand, some wood ash, and some Damascus earth, and they'll be some very, very happy campers. All right, well, it's been about 12 minutes or so. So let's quit gawking at the chickens and we'll go make some lunch. Alrighty, guys, so now it's been like 20 minutes since this stuff started soaking, and probably won't catch it on the camera, but it's swelled all up. So now basically all we really got to do is just kind of heat this up and add a little more water to it, fire up the green meanie, and let's see what happens here. You know, the stand is big, the tank is big and heavy, the stove head is bodacious, it doesn't fold down. But if you want a good, reliable stove, it is really hard to beat one of these old Colemans. I don't know how the new ones are. This is an old one and it's never failed me. Oh yeah, got to put a little oil in here, almost forgot that. Enough done. So I'm gonna be polite. I'm not gonna call these people like the Terrorist Society of America or anything like that. It's TSA approved, so I don't know if you can put cooking oil in it and get on an airplane, but I guess you can put shampoo and other dangerous items, right? Fucking assholes. Anyways, so my upcoming trip, I'm planning on using dehydrated hamburger in a lot of my meals. So this is a practice run. I took 2 pounds, like I said earlier, 2 pounds of hamburger, and I forgot. I'll have to, well, I can't do it now because I've already used some of it. But I took 2 pounds of hamburger and dehydrated it, and it got down to like around a pound. And I got it in a baggie in the refrigerator. Now I could put it in mason jars with those little silicone desiccant things that suck up moisture, but I just keep it in the refrigerator. From what I understand, it'll stay good for several months like that, but I'll be eating it up soon. And anywhere that you would use hamburger, you can use dehydrated hamburger. So you got a north side and some dehydrated hamburger. Now I used a cup of the dehydrated hamburger. Now I don't know, I've seen people where they weigh it out and all kinds of crazy shit and just have everything micro measured. I'm going to say a half a cup. If it's a little too much meat, well then I'll try a third of a cup. It's not rocket science, people, it's food. Just do it. You'll figure it out as you go, right? So now it's starting to boil. And now see, the recipe says boil it like 7 minutes and then let it sit for a couple minutes to chill. But being that I soaked it for 20 minutes, everything's pretty much soft. I just got to bring it up to temperature for a couple minutes, and I think it'll be just fine. And then that way I don't have to sit here and run my stove for however long it takes to get the boil, and then boil the stuff for 7 minutes or so. So pre-soaking, I think there has a lot to be said about that. It's definitely a good thing. If you're not already doing it, you might want to consider it. And because of the way this stuff is, I don't think it's like a Mountain House meal where you can just throw some boiling water in there and let it sit and then eat it. You still got to heat this stuff up. Yeah. Serbian Army mess kit. You know I've cooked with this thing before. It is really, for what it is, it's a good little mess kit. Now they used to sell these things really cheap, and thanks to the scandemic and fucking Brandon, a lot of things have went up. These things, you used to be able to get these things $9, $10, $11. I think I paid $13 for mine, and they're high as hell now. I mean, they're like between $20 and $35 depending on where you're seeing them. I mean, some of these people are nuts. I know when you buy, as a surplus dealer, when you buy these things, you're buying them by the fucking freight car load. It's not like you're selling them every fucking day. So if you paid fucking $2 a piece for these things 5 or 6 years ago, just because we got shit going on that no one wants to talk about, doesn't mean you get to jack your price up. You're still, at old prices, you're still making the same amount of profit, but now you're gouging people, fucker. Of course, now I know that the dollar doesn't go as far right now as it used to, thanks to the fucking dumbasses that voted for someone or voted against someone, however you want to look at it. I don't know. I need to stop. We all know what the fucking problem is. Fucking communism. That's what the fucking problem is. You can call it progressivism, socialism, whatever. It doesn't matter what you call it. No one in the history of the world's ever fucking done it right, and no one never will, because it's flawed from the fucking get-go. Unless you're the one in fucking charge, it's a flawed fucking system. Don't believe me? Fucking go find me some fucking proof. And what I mean by that is all the fucking bullshit lies and rhetoric that our fucking country and news media portrays. No, stop, enough of that bullshit. You want to know about socialism or communism? Talk to someone that escaped it. Not someone that's in college dreaming about it, what a utopian bunch of bullshit it is. Talk to someone that escaped it. There's a reason people escape those countries, because it fucking sucks unless you're in charge. Alright, well, enough of that. This was supposed to be about a trial run on dehydrated hamburger meat and phase 1 completed of my chicken condo. Here I am talking about Brandon and communism and all these other fucking... I'll just stop. How about that? Because YouTube's a bunch of fucking cocksuckers these days. No, stop. Putting myself in timeout. You know, like your grandma used to say, or your mom used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything. Yeah, I'm in timeout right now. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, while we're sitting here waiting on this to finish up, let me show you something here real quick. Some of you probably go, wow, man, that's a pretty good idea. Some of you are going to be like, oh, Jesus Christ, that shit probably weighs fucking 4 or 5 fucking grams. I can't spare the fucking weight. Oh, hell no. 3 or 4 clothespins so you can roll up your canopy. All right? Because right now it's nice out now. It could possibly rain. We got some clouds here and there rolling around. Could get spit on. If that's the case, I simply undo those clothespins, drop the guideline, and we're back in business. Everybody's happy. But right now, why would I want that thing down towards the ground, blocking the breeze and blocking the sun? 3 or 4 clothespins, guys. And when you're not doing this, you can wash your dirty socks and underwear out and hang it up on a makeshift clothesline. Thought I would share that with you in case you didn't already know that. And I think this stuff is probably done. Look at that. I just grabbed this thing and it's not even hot. Now that's a well-made canteen cup to know that I could be sitting here boiling something for 10 minutes now and the handle's not hot. Try that with an American-made canteen cup. You'll only do it once. Absolutely. That's good. As is. Actually, let me show it to you if I can. At a half a cup of dehydrated hamburger, I think that was about right. I could probably use a little bit less than a half a cup of hamburger meat, but I am kind of a carnivorous kind of guy, so I have no problem with the extra meat. But yeah, half a package of the Mexican rice, the Northside brand, and half a cup of dehydrated hamburger meat, otherwise known as gravel rocks. Yum, yum, yum. And of course, no meal like this is complete without some Texas Pete. Whoa, hey, that happens. Mexican rice and gravel rocks with some Texas Pete, cooked outside. Life is good. We'll be doing more of this. I'll see you soon.